The following is a presentation of ESPN on ABC.
This season, there's only one thing you can count on. You can't count on a thing. Notre Dame is still in the playoff mix. If the perfect storm of unpredictability continues.
Notre Dame needs chaos to happen.
This is your game. Let's go win the football game. Let's go.
Virginia wants to add another upset to the list with their sights set on an ACC title. The Fighting Irish and the Cavaliers embrace the chaos on Saturday Night Football.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish still very much alive for a third college football playoff appearance in 4 years. Visit Scott Stadium in Charlottesville to face a Virginia team still in contention for an ACC championship. Notre Dame enters with a number 9 ranking and an 8-1 record. The season started with a pair of 3-point wins over Florida State and Toledo, followed by back-to-back wins over currently ranked teams Purdue and Wisconsin. The one blemish occurred in South Bend against number 5 Cincinnati, but then another 4-game win streak, wins in Blacksburg against USC, North Carolina, and then last week against Navy, their 39th consecutive win against an unranked team, the longest active streak in the country. And welcome to the booth alongside Dusty Dvorak. I'm Dave Pasch. We'll check in with Tom Luganbill here in a minute. As you look at Notre Dame, currently 9th in the country, not a terrible position, especially when you consider that Oklahoma, which is currently number 8, lost today, and the Irish offense hitting its stride at the most important time in the season.
No question. Look, they had to reload this offense from a season ago. 5 draft picks in the top 4 rounds, and Tommy Rees kind of had to hit the reset button and tailor fit this offense around its personnel. The biggest key, this offensive line got solidified. And in the last 4 games, they put up at least 30 points a game. They're getting Kyron Williams going, maybe the best tight end in all of college football. And Michael Mayer and Jack Cohn has taken ownership of this offense. And this team is right where they want to be, making the home stretch for another playoff push.
All right, with more on the Irish, let's check in with Tom, is standing by with Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly.
Coach, you guys have played really good offensive football, particularly over the last 4 weeks. What's been the factor that's been the difference here down the stretch?
I think we solidified the offensive line. I think it starts there. And then just, finding the rhythm offensively at the quarterback position. Speed things up for Jack. Getting it to a quicker tempo, getting the ball out of his hands, prompting it out of his hands with some, quicker drops, not as much play action. And then really getting Tyler into the game much more seamlessly where it fits. So I just think that all, took a little time, and we had to kind of figure that out over the first couple of weeks.
Well, Coach, defensively, regardless of who trots out on the field for quarterback for Virginia, what are the greatest challenges you see in stopping this explosive offense?
Well, Robert Hane does a nice job of mixing things up. There's every formation in the book. So you really have to be fundamentally sound defensively. You got to protect the edges. You've got to contain the football. Really, it's about playing fundamentally sound defense, tackling, getting after the quarterback, regardless of who's out there. That's where they put you in a bind. And they've got as talented of a receiving core, balanced, as we'll see this year. So, the balance on offense is probably the biggest challenge for us.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Virginia with the number 1 offense in the country, but quarterback Brennan Armstrong unlikely to play. An hour ago, only through for a few minutes. We'll discuss the fallout next as we get you ready for Virginia and number 9, Notre Dame on ABC.
The Nissan pregame drive is next, after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Hey, Barry, you want to play some spike ball?
But I never spiked the ball.
Oh, man, just give it a try.
I never spiked the ball. Never even once. Great game, guys. Let's play again sometime.
That was intense.
Welcome to the Nissan pregame drive. Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
We welcome you to Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Capital One. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. The Virginia Cavaliers entered tonight's game 6-3, 4-2 in the ACC, and they have the #1 offense in the country, almost 550 yards per game. They have 5 players with over 400 receiving yards, the only team in the country that can say that. They have an outstanding quarterback in Brennan Armstrong, #2 in the nation in passing, but Armstrong is not playing tonight. Instead, it'll be a true freshman at quarterback. With more on that story, here's Tom Luganville.
Well, thanks, Dave. Yeah, certainly Brennan Armstrong came out for just about 10 minutes, and you could tell by his facial expressions, his body language, he just couldn't make the throws. He was wincing. Keep in mind that rib injury's on the left side. He's left-handed, so when that ball comes up and out, it's really going to put some strain underneath his armpit in his rib area. So now where does that leave the Virginia Cavaliers? It leaves them with a true freshman in Jay Wolfe. Now, Jay Wolfe is a guy that was not heavily recruited, had several FCS offers, some Group of 5 offers, but Virginia loved his moxie. They loved his athleticism. He's not going to be what Brennan Armstrong is. Brennan Armstrong made a ton of plays, 20 yards or more through the air. But I think that going with Wolfe gives this offense a chance to not have to make many wholesale changes. They've had 2 weeks to prepare and get this young man ready to go.
He's also a pitcher on the baseball team. So, all right, Dusty, you say to this young man, go out there. It's one thing to make your first start on Saturday Night Football. It's another to be doing it against a top 10 team. Yet another to be doing it against an iconic program, a blue-chip program at Notre Dame. What does this mean now for him and the Virginia offense?
Well, what an opportunity for Jay Wolfe. I mean, he's got everything right there in front of him. And look, he's got great mobility. I think we'll see him utilized as a runner tonight.